The phrase, "I can't breathe," just means so much. There are people who are living in environments where they literally cannot breathe properly because of the air quality. We currently are living through a pandemic that's making it even harder for those same people to be able to literally breathe, and then also to be threatened by police officers and to be killed and not be able to breathe again. It just needs to stop. Hi, I'm Leah Tomas, and I'm an environmental communications specialist and a blogger. When you look at the data and you see where most of the environmental injustices are happening, you're going to find that it's mostly not happening in white communities. In some instances, it is, like fracking mountain communities, but the majority of it is happening in inner cities or sometimes even rural Black and Brown communities and Indigenous communities. COVID is highlighting those environmental injustices even more because in so many communities, Black and Brown people live in areas of terrible air pollution and air quality, and children are experiencing higher rates of asthma. It's just terrible. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I went to school in Orange County. I decided I wanted to declare my major as environmental science, and unfortunately during that time, that's when there was a shooting of Michael Brown. He was an unarmed Black boy who was shot multiple times by a police officer, and that happened about 10 minutes from my house. It was really traumatizing. His body was laying in the street for 4 hours, and my sister participated in the protests, was tear gassed, her friends were tear gassed, things were burning to the ground, and then I had to go back to school, had to go back to California, but I couldn't really focus because my town back home was literally falling apart, and I was really coming to terms with my identity as a Black person in America. And when I was in my classes, I kept learning about protecting nature and how healing it could be, and I found it to be so healing for myself. I was in Southern California, I'm in the mountains, I'm going to the beach, but I just felt so bad for everyone back home that was literally drowning in the smoke of tear gas and fires. And that's when I really got interested in environmental justice, just wishing that people, like the people in the community of Ferguson, could have access to the same thing I had access to be able to find healing in nature and to have a safe environment. I was having a lot of feelings that I wasn't understanding because the conversations weren't going on about intersectional environmentalism. And when I would raise my hand and say, "What about Flint?" or "What about all these people that are living without access to healthy organic produce, what about them?" It was silenced a lot of the time, or it just was considered like an add-on or something extra. When I was reading about advocating for public lands and saving all of these endangered species, I just kind of wish I would have had the courage to stand up and say, okay, there are all these endangered species, but Black people are also endangered in this country right now, and that's something that's equally as important. After witnessing everything that's been happening this week, I just felt like I really needed to say something and really wanted to encourage environmentalists that I've stood alongside in climate protests to stand alongside me and all the Black people in America right now. I wasn't hearing a lot about it from the environmental community and was kind of disappointed. So I made a post very specifically in this moment to say Black Lives Matter, because sometimes people seem a little hesitant to just say the word Black. And I was just trying my hardest to put on paper how I was feeling about the type of environmentalism that I want to see. And I want to see environmentalism that's inclusive of all people and environmentalism that stands for Black lives. I posted it. I thought I was going to get fired and that people maybe weren't going to be super excited about it, but that definitely wasn't the case. And I was just really surprised, and the best way to see so many environmentalists jump on board, so many companies and organizations that I really look up to share that message. And it seems like it's clicking with more people that if environmentalism isn't inclusive and intersectional, then it doesn't really stand for justice at all in the first place. Intersectional environmentalism is an inclusive version of environmentalism because it's looking at the degradation of both the planet and also the poor treatment of people and their relationship to the planet. And I think we need to focus on people, because when we're talking about the climate crisis, the people who are currently facing the harshest impacts of climate change are people of color. A lot of the times I'm the only Black person in some of these environmental organizations, and I might be the only person that's raising awareness for it, and it's a lot easier for it to be silenced. But if more people in the environmental movement could be allies to these causes, I think it would be talked about even more, and I wish people would start doing that. It's not really about my post. I'm really happy that people are sharing it, but I just hope that people take the time to really learn about everything that's happening and just take the time to dive into the inequities. Everyone has a place in the environmental movement and in social justice movements. Not everybody is going to be the person that holds a megaphone, but you can also share content online that an environmental activist is posting, talk about it with your friends and family, and find a way to get involved, because it really is going to take all of us to solve this.